Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 011, Arithmetic, Section 4.10, Problem 21. This is Section 4.10, Problem 21. In one episode of The Simpsons, Grandpa Simpson claims that his car gets 40 rods to the hogshead, and that's the way he likes it. What would that be in miles per gallon? And there's a hint. 1 mile equals 320 rods, and 1 hogshead equals 64 gallons. So I believe rods were used in, it's a unit of length for farming, and hogshead was for brewing beer and winemaking. Very old. And Grandpa Simpson proclaims this after he says that the metric system is the tool of the devil. That's when he talks about his car getting 40 rods to the hogshead. So let's start with 40 rods for 1 hogshead. So his car travels that distance, 40 rods, whatever that is, and it uses this much gas, 1 hogshead. That would be like 64 gallons of gas. So is that good gas mileage? Is it bad gas mileage? Well, let's start canceling stuff and making other more familiar units show up. So for one thing, I have this first hint. 320 rods is the same as 1 mile. So if I want to cancel rods, when I multiply, rods should be in the bottom, the denominator. So 320 rods, an equivalent amount is 1 mile. Because what's in the numerator and denominator of my fraction when I multiply these have to be equivalent, and they are. So now rods will cancel, and that'll tell me how many miles he goes in a hogshead of gasoline. But hogshead is not a unit measure that I'm familiar with either, so I want to cancel hogshead. So let's multiply times another fraction. And when I do, hogshead should be in the numerator to make it cancel, because it's already in the denominator, hogshead. And what do I have? I have this other hint here that 1 hogshead is equal to 64 gallons. So now that's equivalent. So now my unit of measure after I cancel rods will be miles. My unit of volume after I cancel hogshead will be gallons. So miles to the gallon is something I'm much more familiar with. So rods on the top, rods on the bottom will cancel. Hogshead in the denominator, hogshead in the numerator will cancel, and I'll be left with miles per gallon. So in the numerator, I will have 40 times 1 times 1. In the denominator, I'll have 1 times 320 times 64. So let's simplify that a little bit. And again, that's coming out in miles per gallon. So 40 times 1 I know is 40. 1 times 320 times 64. I'll use my calculator for that. Times 1 I don't really need, but 320 times 64 is not something I will easily do in my head. It comes out to 20,480. So now, since that's a fraction, it really represents a division. Again, with my calculator, I want to enter the numerator first, 40 divided by the denominator, 20,480, and I'll hit equals. So 40, got to put the numerator in first, 40 divided by 20,480 gives me a very tiny decimal, gives me 0.00195325. So 0.0019 something miles to the gallon. That's really, really bad gas mileage. That's horrible. And again, we should put the units of measure. That's miles per gallon.